amazing thing about technology is how it can give a voice to people who aren't used to having one. Like here, in Napa Valley, where people come from all around the world to spend more than a few bucks on the finest restaurants, wineries, and luxuries. But look in the background, and you'll find a whole lot of people who work behind the scenes to deliver all of those perfect Instagram moments for others to enjoy. A lot of these folks have just moved to America and are working long hours for low wages, practically invisible to the millions of tourists who enjoy the fruits of their labor. But this story isn't actually about them. It's about their kids and how they find some kind of courage to stand up and be heard so that they might feel a little less invisible than their parents often do.
Our school happens to be around 65% second language learners, 85% free reduced lunch.
A lot of kids that come to school with not eating. Like at class sometimes we start and there's half the class that's still hungry and they're falling asleep or their stomach hurts because they haven't eaten anything.
I wouldn't say that my neighborhood's the best or the worst. It's just the neighborhood where I grew up and that's the neighborhood that I know.
Have you had breakfast? Has everybody had breakfast?
I have. I'm abused.
Some of our students are in the foster care systems, and the students here know that when they come to the classroom, this might be a door away from a different lifestyle than the one they're currently living. So when you can win them to the idea of education, they're dug in deep.
This is Jen Ellison. She's a mom and a technology teacher, and she just won Teacher of the Year. She used to teach at a fancy private school, but discovered that here at Phillips Elementary, she felt at home.
We talked last week about the idea that a lot of kids go to school and they think they're not supposed to ever admit that they don't know something, right? But that's what school is all about. So sometimes you have to be the brave pioneer to raise your hand and be like the first one to be like, I do not understand a word you're saying, Miss Martin. I know I'm supposed to understand this math, but I'm extraordinarily confused. Help me out, right?
I believe that all students are capable of greatness, and I'm always trying to find ways for them to feel empowered and in control, because they're not.
Phillips is the center of really a pretty diverse neighborhood, actually. Without all of the families that we have here, Napa really couldn't function. So all of their parents are filling key roles in the workforce. Unfortunately, the majority of our students, about 85% or so, are students who come from backgrounds of poverty. So that comes with it a set of responsibilities on our part that we are helping them figure out where they're going to go next.
I want you to look at the list of names that I wrote on the board, okay? Most of them we've talked about or we've watched the videos about. So they all started with, the word I'm thinking of starts with a P. Problem. Right, they all started with a problem. So all of these people looked at a problem, and then what did they do? They made a solution. So that's actually your assignment. I want you to change the world. Maybe we'll invent something, right? Make an app and sell it. Make money now for college when you're still in the 6th grade, right? You need to think of a problem, and we need to solve it. And it could be a problem that you're having in your house, a problem in the neighborhood, a problem for our school, or it could be a problem for the world.
What is your big idea?
Well, basically, you have a bracelet and you say what you want, but you pack it and then it'll memorize it. And you can say I don't know, let's say that you packed a granola bar, shoot it out. Those are our ideas, but we're going with the mini microwave. We're gonna have solar panels that are gonna power some light bulbs that'll heat up the food. It's like a souped up, easy bake oven.
Describe your big idea.
We're making a Mexican superhero. Our supergirl her name is Vanessa. She's a Mexican supergirl. She came from Mexico and now she's gonna be in Napa. Our superhero is gonna look like all of us in the team.
Are there any superheroes that look like you?
Not really.
We're gonna break open this microwave just so that we can further our projects. Yes. You wanna get the money shot right here? So that kind of got me to think, how does all this work?
That's an example. The boomerang, and it gets back and then it comes back. I think we were thinking about
You can do it after
doing an app. Kids can choose what superhero they want to look like. And we'll start off with the little video. As we go through it, we'll learn more.
Even 30 years ago, if a young person came to me and said, hey, I want to change the world. I want to solve poverty, or I want to solve the energy crisis, I would have said, oh, you're going to have to somehow become a government official, maybe go to law school, try to pass a law, maybe you get to lobby some folks. But today, when a young person does ask me, I would say, start working on it. Start working on it tonight. Because literally, you have all the tools at your desk probably to start a global movement.
The kids had one more big idea they wanted to try. And I loved it because it involved all of them working together.
We had a plan to do something bigger, do something for our community.
Because our school doesn't actually have lights in our parking lot, they kind of looking at maybe we can do something that would really improve like overall neighborhood safety.
We decided to call it Lights On.
We wanted to make a map to make it easier for other people that will help us with this project and to show that there's not just one street that doesn't have lights or sidewalks. There's a lot more.
It's a project that no one student can achieve by themselves. It's going to take all of them working together, so it belongs to all of them.
We're going to be marking down where there's no lights or sidewalk.
Are you note taker or are you organizer?
I'm organizer.
And we try to put like O where there is no lights and an X where there is lights.
No lights.
No lights at all.
They're like barely one light and then no light and no light.
In front of the school there was no sidewalk, which was dangerous for the kids. Also on this sea right there in front of those houses, people walked there too to cross from school. Some of the place where it's just funny in front of the school, it was kind of dark. And same with the sidewalk right in front of the school, there's no sidewalk.
Is that a sidewalk?
Nope. No. What was that for?
So, no sidewalks
right here.
Here.
Over there, huh?
So now we're trying to put together an email to contact like the Department of Public Works. We're not sure which is the right person to address it to, so I think we might just blast the entire department and see if we can get a response. And I don't know if we will. I'm hoping. We have a lot of students who would benefit from finding a way to make income now. So I got the idea of teaching my students how to create an app that they could sell on iTunes. But the only problem was I actually don't know how to code. So I decided I should just send all of my students to the Khan Academy website and we could go through it together. Khan Academy is an online learning database to provide a world-class education for everyone for free.
When I first started creating it, the letters that I got were disproportionately from students that a lot of folks would have said are disengaged, who thought they didn't like math or science. But when you gave them the tools to take ownership themselves without feeling judged, without feeling embarrassed, a lot of these kids really accelerated.
When the other girls are playing, I stay at work because I honestly think that coding's more fun. After I finish the code part itself, I get to look at what I made.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It made me feel really good because I know I did that.
You like it?
Yeah, I was doing that make your own.
I think that there's a kind of drive and determination that comes from a kid who's not handed everything, that doesn't come when you are. And then we have these weird situations where kids who have no statistical odds of doing well at something thrive. I have a fifth grader who seriously cannot add or subtract without using his fingers, and he was tackling Bezier curves on Khan Academy because he wanted to learn how to animate a bouncing ball. And there's no reason that he should understand it. But he studied those videos that teach him, and he made that ball bounce. And he can see himself as a mathematician for the rest of his life because he was able to complete that, even though if you ask him what 5 + 2 is, he's like, give me a minute. Last year, 73,000 kids competed in LearnStorm. That was the small beginning. This year, it's much bigger. LearnStorm was a math competition put on by Khan Academy, and it completely changed everything for these kids.
With LearnStorm, what we wanted to do was create a challenge that was for every school and for every student by looking not just at what math skills you know, but also your level of hustle, your level of growth and perseverance. And that is how you win at LearnStorm, by increasing your ability to learn.
It was a really long competition. Math was really hard. And the problem that we have is most of our students are below grade level, especially in math.
And then out of nowhere, something tragic happened.
And then the good stuff, heavy cream has 40% milk fat.
In the middle of the competition, our math teacher died.
What makes it go up?
The water and the air.
Air pressure, okay. Whoa!
Once I found out he passed away, well, I still wanted to participate. I still wanted to do math and not stop.
When he died, everyone's like, oh, this is for Mr. Bunker. Let's just win this thing. Let's go through the competition and win.
And after the first, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks, we got to first place. We stayed in first place. No one beat us.
It was just an incredible moment for them, but also for us as the people who kind of tried to put this challenge on. We had never expected something like what Phillips was able to achieve.
Whoa, big nose! Look. Listen, we have a big nose. Look.
As one of the winners of the contest, we got a field trip to the awards presentation. So we are taking 24 of our students to Google.
Going to Google headquarters! Google headquarters, here we come.
For most of my kids, it was their first time ever getting beyond the town of Napa.
I see Google!
So this was huge for them.
So there's a bunch of people that I'm super excited are here. First of all, Phillips Elementary from Napa.
I was so proud of them. But at the same time, I realized that we all get on the bus and go back home to Napa, and all this just becomes a memory. So the challenge for me was, what can I do to help these kids take it to the next level? I'm gonna try not to cry. I got an email from the mayor's office, and they want the kids to come and talk to the mayor. True story.
Dorothy, that's the lady we've been speaking with, asked that I reach out to you and assist in making arrangements for you and the students to meet with the mayor and our deputy director in the Public Works Department.
We're going to be trying to convince the city officials why we need lights and sidewalks.
So you and I are having a disagreement. You're telling me there's no lights. I say, yeah, there are. There's lights all over the place here. What could you say back to me?
Really good look on Shirtlift Avenue.
Right.
And then here, and then I take you around and then show you that.
So are you with me?
It's true. We're also doing some research of people like construction workers and different counselors that could help us with the problem.
Now we're kind of really at the hard part because we have these like really articulate, intelligent kids. But on the other hand, these aren't kids that people usually listen to. Yesterday, we're prepping for the mayor, and the other adult in their room was like, it would be an unreasonable expectation that the mayor's actually going to have lights put in your neighborhood. And the kids' faces were like, what? It's always surprising to me to see educators who say, dream big, work on a project, but it's totally never going to happen. Sometimes people just look at them and make decisions about them, and yet they have a lot to say. There's so much more underneath there. I have known you people a long time, and you have a lot of energy, and you have a lot of personality, and sometimes when you're doing a presentation, you kind of go flat. So try and have like enthusiasm and try and have energy.
No matter where I go, you know I love her more. She said, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Is this one of your favorite songs that you talked about the other day?
Yeah, I'm addicted to my ex. That's addicted to my ex.
See, that bothers me that you're singing a song about being addicted to your ex because you're 11.
No, that's what the song is called.
I know, but it's just like,
no, but
you connect to the song.
I don't, what?
I hope you don't have an ex.
No, I don't.
You seem a little young for an ex.
Awkward moment where nobody knows what to say.
But wouldn't it be crazy if next year you're walking, like Christina's walking her sisters to school on a sidewalk and knowing that you made it happen?
Yeah, we made this.
That's right. I can't imagine if when you were in the 5th grade, you're able to take a meeting with the mayor and confidently speak to her. Like, what are you going to do when you're in like 6th grade, 7th grade? I think.
Oh no, I just talked to the President of the United States.
Exactly. Thank you. That's next.
My thinking were, am I gonna be like shy or like not talk loud, or was I like gonna be nervous and all of that?
You're at the table, guys. You're part of it. Yeah.
There you go.
Miss Allison showed us a trick. Instead of looking on their eyes, look on their foreheads.
After you kind of ask your questions, then we'll come back and sort of give you the rest of the story about what we know and maybe what we can do.
I walk home from school every day with 2 younger sisters after school, and I am not alone. I get nervous walking home because there are a lot of cars and you never know what could happen in a busy street with no sidewalks.
We really care about kids' safety, so we also want to put lights on campus because it gets really dark and affects the health and safety of people.
As you can see on the side of the school, there is sidewalks and a light, but in front of there and the neighborhood over here don't have any sidewalks and lights.
And how did you find that out? How did you get that data?
We ask kids from our school if they need sidewalks or lights around their neighborhood.
So just personally, I'm interested. Do you walk to school? How many of you walk to school? Do you have sidewalks where you walk or not?
There are a couple sidewalks, but then as I go, I have to walk on the street.
What could we do to make this process happen?
We really appreciate the feedback that we get. That helps us to figure out where our needs are, where we need to focus our attention to fix the problems, because we have a lot of problems to fix.
If someone cares enough to take the time to write a letter or to make an appointment with us, we remember it. So that personal approach really makes a difference in getting something done.
This is amazing. Because they didn't actually really need me. They were just like running the whole thing. And the most amazing part, you could tell it was just like really coming from their hearts. And it was so pure. It was probably one of the best days I've had teaching. Check this out. Look at this. See that? That's construction. Okay, I'm gonna turn it around. Check it out. They're putting in a sidewalk.
Oh my God, they're really doing it. I felt really excited and proud of myself and the other team members because it took a lot of time and effort. We actually did something. With the voice we used, we got something done with it.
If you keep on working toward what you're trying to achieve, then people are going to look at you a lot differently, because you took the risk of failing and getting laughed at, and you made yourself better. You built yourself up. You learn from failure, and that's what's going to get you forward in life.
I've been here for a long time, but I've never seen all of our community partners, all of our families, all of our teachers. I've never seen everybody come together in the way that we are now to really leverage all of our resources on behalf of our students. We're reaching new heights, and I can't wait to see what's coming next. I'm going to get emotional, so I just need to say.
I'm going to miss our 6th graders. I'm sad that they won't be in my leadership academy next year, but I got to raise up a new group. Get them empowered, send them on their way.
That's okay.
The thing about big ideas, a lot of the time they start off really pretty small. See, a big idea doesn't have to change the whole world. If it can just change your world, then it's worth it. Because if you find the courage to speak up, to say, why not me? Well, that's when your world grows a whole lot bigger, so you can make it work.